Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we are back with another banging video. Now guys, in this video, we're gonna talk about Kanye West getting cancelled worldwide. Shout out to our girl, Marnique, for keeping us in the loop. And also, I want you guys to take this with a grain of salt because I'm not sure if this is 100% factual. However, as time passes, I believe you guys will see if this has any amount of truth to it or not. Because it is a post that is being shared, and it's being shared through his fan pages. It's also on Reddit, and it seems to be a really, really big issue. Now, they're saying, I can reveal. So they're talking about Kanye West. He has been told to stay away from Germany, France, the UK, Spain, Italy, Scandinavia, and Australia due to his pro-Nazi views. Both Wembley Stadium and London Stadium in the UK told him that he wasn't welcome even before the release of his appalling Heil Hitler single on May 8th. Sources indicate that he's been touting for concerts across the globe, but can't get booked because of his constant vocal support for fascism. One said he's getting his team to phone around desperately, asking for gigs, and he is said to be asking for $7 million a night. No one will touch him with a barge pole. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing out here. And pretty much, when it comes to visa applications to travel to other countries, they're not issuing any visas either. Now, this is why I say it is very dangerous when you have a cult fan base, because while Ye's behavior was bad, Ye didn't know better most of the times. And he was looking at the comments of the people who were tooting his horns and telling him, "Yay, Kanye, go ahead, Kanye, you're right." Now that Kanye is getting cancelled left, right, and center, these people who were cheering him on, they won't be able to help him. And this is what I've been saying. Kanye needs to get off the internet and get the help that he needs before it hurts him. Because one thing about people, they will cheer you on, like they'll cheer you the heck on whenever you're making a bad decision. But once you're in that rut, they're not going to come together and pull you out. Another thing that we all can learn from this is this. I've always said this. Talented people, oftentimes, they don't make it because they're so talented, and because they're so talented and artistic, they are also complexed, very hard to deal with, very hard to work with. While versus you may have another individual on the opposite side who is just ambitious, dedicated, and doesn't even have half the talent of the next individual, but because that individual who is less talented is more dedicated, more disciplined, more ambitious, those people with less talent oftentimes tends to make it over the more talented ones. And this is what is happening to Kanye West, because Kanye is one of the most talented individuals on this planet. But while Kanye West was there on Twitter talking to DJ Academics, saying that he hasn't seen his son since the start of 2025, irrespective of the fact that there was videos and photos of him with his son on January 25, of 2025 and people were believing him. It was really extremely sad to see. And people were like, Kanye deserves parental right. And Kim is not allowing the man to see his child, which was not even half true. And Kanye, who was battling a mental illness, was able to convince people that he has no legal custody, which is not even half true. So, I've been telling you guys that supporting Kanye's bad behavior was only gonna get him to nowhere. But if you insisted and encouraged him to get the help that he needs, he wouldn't even be in half the shit that he's in today. People claim that he was fighting for the brotherhood. He was fighting for his community. Heck no, that's bullshit. If you can't fight for your mental health, you're in no condition to fight for anyone. Absolutely no condition whatsoever to fight for anyone. You can't pour from an empty cup. You always have to take care of number one, which is you. So people were on the internet carrying around the false narrative that, oh, leave Kanye alone. You keep picking on Kanye. And I said, oh, you guys are going to realize that I'm not picking on Kanye. I'm trying to help Kanye, as a matter of fact. People are going to slowly wake up to realize that as the day passes, when they realize that no one wants to work with Ye nor wants him in their country. And I said, Kanye should not make an apology of any sort. He should not post anything saying he's sorry because he has done it before, only to go back to doing shit again. So Kanye needs to work on himself. Apology comes in actions, not words. You can say any shit out of your mouth, but doing it is a completely different thing. Action always speaks louder than words. And another thing that I'm telling you all is that I still believe Kanye West is still on drugs. It's not a overnight win. And when I realized how he was being treated at that rehabilitation facility, the moment that he was there, he was used as a PR tool to push their business, you know? I did not like that because I'm saying that was like exploitative in my opinion. And you have someone who has a great need to always be speaking, always talking about something. And you took that opportunity to use Kanye to promote your business, irrespective of the fact that, you know, this man just needed help and no one was listening to him because people realized that he needed help and he was in a very bad place. Taking a photograph of your daughter, an innocent photograph, and then telling people that I don't want you to look at this photo innocent. I want you to look at this photo in the most derogatory manner possible. And people still could not stand up and say, this is too far, this is seriously wrong, and this is gravely dangerous for the child. People were still there. Let Kanye have his free speech. Let Kanye say what he wants to say. Well, he did. But there's one thing I've always been taught. Not because you're free to say anything that you want to, it doesn't necessarily mean there won't be any consequences. Freedom of expression doesn't mean that you can just be going anywhere and saying anything. A lot of what Kanye said and did was wrong, and there's absolutely no excuse under the sun for many of his actions, because the moment Kanye realized that he was getting canceled, that's the only time he was quick to resort to getting some kind of help. And as I've said to you guys, I don't think he's going to take any legal actions against that dentist. I don't think Bianca is going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. I think Bianca is an enabler in all of this. I believe that Kanye needs to get himself into a rehabilitation center, one that means him well, one that provides him with the environment of where he can work with different people, different therapists, nutritionists, you know, neurosurgeons, psychologists. I believe Kanye needs to be taken away from the general public and be placed in a facility where he is still able to move around freely. I'm not talking about a conservatorship. I'm talking about a space that provides true rehabilitation where he'll have access to daily exercise. He'll still have access to create music if he wants to, his favorite instruments, but I believe that he needs to have like a special diet. I believe he needs to have a exercise program going, a detox program going. I think he needs to be somewhere that focuses on the brain, healing the brain. You know how they say now they have figured out that we can grow new brain cells, allegedly based on several reports that have been released. I think he needs to be in a facility that is all about his treatment. And I think he needs to be in that kind of facility for at least a year. Step away from Hollywood. His kids visits him, and they visit him at least once each week for at least 4 hours so they can get some quality time together. And then during the course of the week, they can do their video calls, they can play their games, but he can stay connected with his kids. He can still stay connected with the outside world, but not the people who have enabled him to this point. Kanye is still not safe. Kanye still needs help. But I mean, people are going to be mad and they're going to send threats because you should not speak the truth. How dare you not enable or support Kanye being a junkie? That's what they're saying. Or at least that's how I interpret it. I should enable Kanye West to stay on drugs. I should never encourage him to get clean. I should never encourage him to speak positive things. I should never encourage him to be a better person for himself. I should never encourage him to be a better father for his kids. I should just encourage Kanye to be a loose, dangerous cannon on the internet until he completely self-destructs. Or at least that's what his mentally unwell fan base thinks I should be doing. And that shit will never fucking happen. Not in this life, nor the next. And that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Peace.